Good evening and welcome once again to the Whiskey Cowboy Live. Tonight's date is June 7th, 2026. It is a Sunday. Hey, welcome to the show, Kay. There's Laurel. She says, looks good, sounds good. It's all good. It's good. My goodness, we got two people starting out the show. My goodness. I didn't know whether or not I was going to have to shut down. I'm getting to be in one of those moods. I'm getting to be in one of those moods. Hot, humid. Loving my screen door, though. I had to custom order a door latch for it. I had just eye hook closing it. It's like, no, because I can't shut that from the outside. So I just wanted to get a standard screen door. It's got a push button on the outside. It's got a flippy floppy on the inside, and it goes in a striker plate. The ones locally, they're for 1 1/4 inch doors. This is 1.5 inch. So I was like, I ain't going to help. So I had to order one in. It got sent in. I came in on Friday and put it on. And wouldn't you know it, ain't nothing goes the way it's supposed to do. It's 3 holes, right? 3 holes. Evenly spaced. I lined it up. I'm like, okay, this is where I want it. It's just below the eye hook. This is where I want it. I got the first hole in, and I got the second hole in, and I went and drilled the bottom hole. So I did the center, did the top, went to drill the bottom, got about halfway through the door. The drill bit ain't working anymore. Like, what the hell? So I pull it out. It's like, what the hell? Okay, get it going. And it's, oh, man. Why is this not going through the door? It's just wood. Well, wouldn't you know it? If I was 1/4 inch higher or 1/4 inch lower, I'd have been fine. I'd forgot to check and see where I got a cross piece going across the screen door, and it's held on by 2 screws. It goes through the outside and then into the cross piece. And I hit one of those screws. It's like, what are the odds? What are the odds that I hit the screw? It's like, you son of a mother. So I'll fill the hole. It's not a problem. I'll fill it. So I'm like, okay, thank goodness the holes are even. So I just slid the template up and drilled another hole. And from the outside, there's no extra hole because I was drilling from the inside out. Laura says, well, that sucked. It did. Like, you son of a mother. So I get it all done. It's like, okay, it's fine. I just got a hole in the inside of my door. Like I said, I'll get it filled and painted over. That's not a problem. And I give it a try. It's like, okay, and I close it and it's good. But if I close it from like 2 feet, let it go because it's spring loaded, it's got the spring on it, it'll hit and then it wouldn't latch on the striker plate because not enough of the little flippy thing was catching on the striker plate. Not a problem. Not a problem. It was set right. It was like, oh, it was perfect. It was exactly where it needed to be with a little latch. So I'm like, okay. I'll take the striker plate off again. I'll take it off. And I put the little shim in. They come with a shim. So put the shim in it. Put the screws back in. Hey, Judy, welcome to the show. Put the shim back in. 2 feet out. Let it go. Wham. Hits. Stays. It's like, oh, that's fucking great. That's great. Oh, it's working. Now, I don't want to be slamming anyways, but it's nice if you're quick and you just let it go, and at least so you're not having to ride it in by hand. So, So she's working fine. So it's the way it's supposed to work. 2 feet out, let it go. Wham, hits, stays. It's like, oh, that's fucking great. That's great. Oh, it's working. Now, I don't want to be slamming anyways, but it's nice if you're quick and you just let it go, and at least so you're not having to ride it in by hand. So she's working fine. So So I gave it another try. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'll try it again. 2 feet out, let go of the door, goes in, slams. Oh, fucking great. Stayed fine. Went to open up the door. Couldn't open up the door. I'm like, oh my God. I keep pressing on the damn thing. The thumb latch. What the hell? The door's not moving. Oh, hey, baby. She's in the living room. So can you see if you can let me in? So she gets out of the living room, comes down the hallway. I had locked the door. When I say I'd locked the door, remember how I've got an eye hook? You know, those, it's got the little hook and then it goes into an eye hook. Well, that's so that we still have that and it's fine. So at night we lock it so you can't open up the screen door. And the good thing is with the, I mean, you could cut the screen and you could do right, but most people aren't going to do that. Well, what it did is it went and it slammed, and the hook jumped, and I've got it so well aligned that it just, it's like shooting a basketball into a hoop. It just whoop, right into the eye hole. Like, okay, now I got to make sure that we put the hook in it. It is so well aligned that you slam it, it'll make the hook flip and just get into the eye hook all by itself. So I'd lock myself out. But yeah, it's great. I also I filled in. I told you that in the sidewalk I took the grass out. Yeah, sure as shit. What it was is there was a drainage pipe that goes underneath the sidewalk, and they had taken about 1.5 feet of the sidewalk out, and instead of filling it back up, they just broke it out, and instead of filling it back up, they just filled it with dirt, and then the grass grew over it. So I got all the dirt cleared, or all the grass and stuff between the sidewalk panels, whatever you call them, what the fuck they are. So it's a regular sidewalk, and I went and I got some cement, and I got more than I need. I got a couple more bags. I did 1 80-pound bag of cement. Slab, there we go. Laurel said they could have just moved the whole slab. They could have, but you know, those slabs they're heavy. I mean, they're good 3.5 inch slabs, but they just it looked like they just broke the shit out of it. So I'm like, okay, that's not a problem. And I cleared it all the way down, slab length or slab depth. And I mixed up 80-pound bag of cement and shoveled it in and filled it in. And it ain't pretty, but it's filled now. I could have used, I'd probably say another 1/8 to 1/4 of a bag of cement. I'm that shy of being right up to full. But it's good enough. It's like I'm not gonna bust open another bag of cement for this. It's gonna be fine, and it is. It's fine. When you walk on it, you don't even notice it. So it's fine. It's like, oh, so that's another project done. That's fine. Took the missus for a drive this morning. Got out to the truck. Man, she just dusted with that green yellow tree sex. It was horrible. I'm like, and I just sprayed off the truck the other day, and I'm like, shit. So we go for a drive. Every car on the road had tree sex all over them, and all the cars in the car dealership, same thing. Just yellowy green tree sex all over everything, dusting over everything. It's like, well, at least I don't look out of place. It was horrible. It was so bad this morning that you could see it in the air. You could see the pollen in the air. It's like, holy crap. But we went for a little ride and we came on back. Yeah. Dealing with people online. Achoo. Yeah, well, I didn't sneeze much, but get all stuffy and nose running. I'm getting tired of people. I know Laurel's getting tired of people. I posted up. Fucking people. I posted up. I'm trying to get to it here. Oh, I'll talk about the boy in the lawnmower in a minute. But I posted up the boomers that spent the 80s drunk driving and ate $5 steak and buying da-da-da-da-da. It was a typical young kid now acting like and it's like boomers in the 80s. No. You don't got your generations right. Boomers that spent the 80s. Well, I mean boomers were around in the 80s. But you'd be more likely to say, well, the 60s and the 70s. But we were all around the 80s too, but we were in the 60s and 70s, but whatever. Wah. There's more of this shit that, yeah. They said that we lived like rock stars on forklift salary and called it discipline. It says, I live like a monk on a corporate salary and still can't afford what they had at 28. The advice didn't age well. Neither did the economy it was built on. Because they said factory salaries, and retired at 60 with a pension, wants to explain to me why I'm bad with money. Okay. No, you're bad with money. Nobody likes to hear that shit. You're bad with money. If you can't live, especially with a corporate salary in 2026, you can't live. You have to live like a monk. You're bad with money. You're making some bad choices. Because we talked about this on the show before. We talked about this on my page. We don't have an earning wage problem in the United States. We have a living within their means problem in the United States. And I can guarantee you that this glitzy, glamoury fairy tale vision of everybody in the 80s was living like rock stars. No, I'm sorry. No. Didn't happen. Now, here's another. I'm not saying that people nowadays don't have more bills. I'm not saying things don't cost more now. I never made that claim. And this is what I went through, and I had to delete a shit ton of posts. And they're posts from even people to follow my content. If you can't fucking read and keep it on topic, don't fucking waste my time. Don't post. Because they wanted to argue with me. All these popular things, like I normally agree with you, but here I don't. And then they went in about economy and how things are more expensive. And it's like, you're straw manning me because I never fucking argued that. How do you know you agree or disagree with me when you're bringing up an issue that I didn't bring up? So I went back and reread everything that I actually wrote, what I actually wrote. And it's like, no, I didn't say that the economy isn't worse now than it was in the 80s. I didn't say that at all. I didn't say that houses don't cost more. I didn't say that there aren't more bills. I didn't say any of that. I just said you're bad at spending your money. Judy said things are higher now, but I make a hell of a lot more now too. Yeah. It evens out. They go, they try to bring up, well, the dollar doesn't it's not that the dollar isn't worth the same amount. Here's what it is. People weren't buying $8 fucking cups of coffee every morning. They weren't having cell phones with multiple accounts. They didn't have internet service. They didn't have guys always said telephone. They didn't have the latest computers because we didn't have fucking computers. We didn't have 2-3 TVs in our house. The houses people were buying were usually used. They were used houses. They were old houses, and they weren't very big. Nowadays, everybody's got to have a brand new house, 3 to 4 bedrooms. Got to have 1.5 baths at a minimum, en suites, all sorts of shit like that. Look, this is dishwasher. There's all sorts of shit now that people, they think they got to have it out the get-go. They don't want a starter home. Laurel says, I was busting my ass in the 80s, and we had modest house with no extras and a child with major medical issues. It can be done. Right, it can be done. People are bad with their money. And like I wrote to other people, I'm not saying that people weren't bad with their money in the 80s. People have always been bad with their money. Welcome to the human condition. Some people did better than others. People try to bring up the thing of, oh, well, you can't rent an apartment and you can't do this and you got to, it's like, no, you can't rent the apartment you want to rent because you can't afford it. Get some roommates. That's what they did in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Nobody was out of school. Nobody. Up through the 80s and probably the 90s, nobody thought that they were fresh out of high school and they deserved to make the money that their father and their grandfather made when they're at that age. People didn't expect that shit. They expect it now. Priorities. There's a lot of bills. There's a lot of shit that hey, you know you can still get a landline, right? Put a fucking landline in. Oh, but I need a cell phone. No, you want a cell phone. Oh, but I need internet. You got a library, don't you? Libraries have computers. Oh, shit. Yeah, there's ways around stuff. I need a good car, and you need a car that runs you from point A to point B till you can afford something better. That's all you need. No, everybody thinks they need to have the car, the house, the toys, the stuff that they saw people who are retired have, ignoring the fact that they worked their ass off for their entire life and put in a lot more fucking hours than the new generation is willing to work or wants to work. When I was growing up, I never heard anybody complain about working. They complained if they couldn't work, they didn't have a job. They knew they put a lot of hours in, they got the money, and then they spent it correctly, or they didn't. That was on them. But you didn't hear the bitch pissing and moaning that you hear nowadays. It's always something else. So again, people want to argue with me and say, oh, I disagree with you. Do you? Do you really disagree with me? Judging from their posts, they didn't demonstrate it because they didn't say what I was fucking saying. I didn't say that. I didn't say that things don't cost more now. I didn't say that young folks don't have it difficult now. I didn't say that. I said you're bad with your money. Two different things. The reason the kids aren't getting ahead isn't because they're not making money. Well, it may be. It's not making enough money for how they want to live and for the bills they have. And you went to college for some bullshit degree that doesn't pay for itself, that's on you, cupcake. You know, this super smart generation, all these young folks, they're the brightest, they're the smartest, brightest people out there. But then they go, well, somebody should have explained. No, they didn't need to. You're so fucking smart. Can't you do basic research? I'm an old fucker and I can do basic research. You got the tools right in front of you. You can tell how much you're going to pay for that student loan. You can tell how long it's going to take you to get that student loan. You can tell how much money you can expect to get paid, and even if there's even a job market for that. It's like, you didn't check your job market? I don't care if that's what you want to do. Everybody wants to do the cush jobs. Is there a job market for it? That's like you go back 15 years ago and you go, I want to be a photographer because photography equipment's is less expensive now. I can get it. I'm going to be a photographer because I can do a job. Did you see whether or not the market can support another one of you 5 billion? That's what happened with the web design industry. Bubble and bust. Laura says, yeah, no, they aren't. No, they're not. No fucking tell. This is the same way is young folks want to act all adult and do the adult things until they do something wrong and they get called on it. And then it's, I'm just young. I don't know any better. Fuck you. Pick a lane. I'm more than happy. That's my big, pick a lane. We'll play it any way you want to play it. So I say all the time, say the same thing with women's rights. I am the most chivalrous man you will find. I'm so chivalrous that a lot of folks think I'm sexist. Isn't that funny? How being chivalrous suddenly makes you a sexist. But I tell you what, you treat a woman like you treat a man, you're called a misogynist. Isn't that funny how that works? You treat a woman like you treat a man, you get called a misogynist. You hate women. What the fuck? Do you want to be treated the same or do you want to be treated special? I'd like to treat you special. I really would. But I'm not going to sit back and treat you special. All the while you're claiming that I'm treating you like shit and you're not being treated the same. You're right, sweetheart. You're not being treated the same. If you were a guy, I'd knock you out by now. You know, I'm a chivalrous man. I've said that all along. Yes, I'm all for cutting women breaks. Yes. Carry the load for women. Yes. Cut them more slack. Yeah. Yeah, they get flippant. Yeah, they've got hormones. We get it. Cut them some slack. But I'm not going to play all that game and then fucking be called a monster the whole time when I do nothing but be a chivalrous man. You've been getting all the breaks. Again, let's pick a lane. I'll play it either way. I can't play it both ways. The same way with the wage gap. There was no wage gap. There was choices gaps. And women, women, they get caught because they get pregnant and they have to. Yes. Welcome to biology. Welcome to biology. And guess what? Men don't get that. They don't get it. Oh, I'm out of the workforce for, a year, 2 years, 3 years. I'm out, well, now they can if they switch the roles. If the woman says, fuck it, I'm going back to work, and the man stays at home, he might, depending upon his contract, might be able to get long-term pregnancy leave. I don't know. Don't get me started on women fighter pilots and all that other shit. They don't belong up there. I don't care if a woman is a pilot. I don't care. However, if it's mission critical, I don't even care if it's just a cargo plane. There are certain times they can't fly. You wouldn't hire a man or allow a man to do it going, well, fuck it. Well, Jimmy, you can't go out on the field today. You can't go engage with the enemy because, it's that time of month. How stupid is that? Oh, that's sexist to say. No, it's not. It's biological to say that. So keep women in non-critical roles. Let them do the stuff that men shouldn't do. Do it clerical. Do supply. Do stuff. Do stuff that it's not mission critical. It's needed. But it's not combat. It's not mission critical. Just let them do that. Laurel says combat ready is necessity. Yes, it is necessary. I tell you what, I get a broke dick profile. Those in the service know exactly what I'm talking about. You get a broke dick profile that's in your platoon, you get rid of his ass. You get rid of him. You get him out of the Army. Broke dick is someone that's broke all the time. Profile is what you call them, a profile, but profile is what you get. You go to the doctor and you get a profile. And the profile says, can only do light duty, can only do this, can't stand for so much time, That's a profile. So we called people who had a profile, we called them profile. Now everybody has had a profile because you're going to get hurt. Now getting sick isn't a profile. You get hurt. So you're put on restricted duty. Everybody does it. But when you're always on it, you're a liability. You got to be able to roll. And if you can't roll, don't do it. So again, we should not have women fighter pilots. Laurel says it's a desk job in some remote area. Yeah, or or not even remote. You're stuck in HQ. And you're answering phones or fucking picking up cigarette butts. You know, you're not doing your job. You're not doing what you're paid to do. That's not sexist. That's mission critical. Stop it. And I don't care whether it's a male or female. Like I said, you get a broke dick profile, you get rid of them. You get rid of them. They're a detriment to your unit. Plus, women in men's units is a detriment to the unit. I have never once seen a single military unit, never once, where they mix males and females, that there wasn't fucking issues. Because males and females interact differently together. And now you add the boss bitches into it and shit like, no. That reminds me too. I've been, every once in a while, the drill sergeant, Marine drill sergeant, and Army drill sergeant videos, they pop up in my feeds. I just sit back and laugh. It's like, they're babies. They're women barking. They're not tough. And they're babies. They're boys. They're just, babies. Literally, they're babies. I don't care how much you try to go. Like, you look like you're 12. How anybody could find that in the remotest way intimidating is beyond me. And then I thought, it's like, well, did they look that young when I went through basic training? So I pull out my basic training book. Yeah. And looked at the drill sergeants. Nope. None of them look 12. They looked like they were 28 to 35 years old. And we got drill sergeants out there. They look like they're 12 years old. It's like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Lord Almighty. And they try to add some bass in their voice. No, they put a little gravel in their already just barely out of puberty voices. Stop it. Thank you for doing your job, but I just think it's funny as hell. Yeah, I told you I was in a mood. I'm in a mood. Let me see here. I gotta go here. Let me get to my lawnmower boy. I posted up yesterday evening, that there's a knock on my front door. So I get up and I go and I open up the door and I say, there's a young feller and he's on the walkway. I said, hey, how can I help you? And he's like, can I mow your lawn? And I'm like, and I laughed, just like, yeah, no. I said, no, you may not. He's like, oh, okay. And he had a lawnmower out. Old lawnmower is out at the side of the street with a can of gas on it. And he's like, okay, thank you. Sorry for disturbing you. And I'm like, oh, no, hey, no problem. I said, and good luck. Just like that. And I went back inside and I sat down. I was talking with the missus and I'm like, that's the first time. I've been living here for over 10 years. Ain't had nobody come up and offer to mow my lawn. Now, granted, he wanted a job. He should have said that. But I knew what he meant. But in all the years living here, never once has any kid come up and asked. It's like, hey, that's good. I said, you know what? I said, if I had $20, I'd give him $20. I didn't have $20. We'll get to that. And and I'm thinking, I said, well, I just think I think it's cool. Did my heart good to see him do that. So I said, I tell you what, how about if I go hunt him down and I tell him if he comes by Wednesday, I'll give him $20. Just give him $20 because I don't have $20 on me. Now I said Wednesday because I didn't know when I'd be able to get out to get $20. So it gives me a few days. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. I'm like, are you sure? She's like, yeah, that's fine. So I'm like, okay. So I put my hat on my head and I went out to the truck and I jumped in it and drove on down the road. Well, he was way down the street. And I pulled over and he was talking with a young homeowner. I said, yeah, you're a young fella who asked if you could mow the lawn. He's like, yeah. I said, I tell you what. I said, it's very good that you're doing this. This is great. I said, I tell you what. You come by Wednesday. Come back to my house Wednesday and you knock on my door. I said, do not bring your lawnmower. Just come on by, knock on my door. I'll give you $20. And he was tickled pink. And I was like, yeah. And I shook his hand. And I said, what's your name? And he told me his name. And I said his name back. And I said, I'm John. Just come back. Like I said, you come back to my place on Wednesday. I said, oh. I said, I knew and this other guy knew that you probably wanted. When you ask to cut somebody's lawn, tell them you're looking for work. Because you didn't say that with me. I knew that just tell me you're looking for work. It's like, okay. Hey, Peggy. She says, hey there. Hope all is well with everyone. I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood. Hope everybody else is doing good. But we're in the middle of the lawn mowing thing. So I drove up the street and turned around, came back home. And that's that. Now I got the $20 and it's sitting in the kitchen. So if I'm not there, the missus will be there and she'll be able to give it to him. So his $20 is there. So the $20 is there. Now, I write this up, right? Most people get it. It's a good story. We like to hear this. I mean, it's a true story. I didn't make it up. But then we get the people, they can't just, you got to piss on something. People got to piss on something. Number one answer, why didn't you just let him mow the lawn? I had written in my fucking write-up that I didn't have any cash. Why don't you have him mow it on Wednesday? Because it's going to be mowed before then. I can mow my own lawn. It's going to be mowed. Oh, I'd have him do something so that he understands about earning his pay and not just getting a handout. It's like he's not just getting a handout. He didn't get this for nothing. That's what people aren't getting. He's not getting $20 for doing nothing. Let me make this clear again. This young feller is not getting $20 for doing nothing. What's he getting $20 for? Anybody want to take a guess what he's getting $20 for? Again, it's not for doing nothing. He's getting $20 for the gumption to go up to somebody's house that he'd never been to before and offer himself up for work. You're right, an initiative. It's for his initiative. He wasn't asking for a handout. I've had kids come up and ask me for money over the years, and I've said no to a person. No. I don't care what your cause is. No. You're not getting it. I don't fucking just give people money just because they ask for money. And this kid is not getting money for doing nothing. This kid is getting $20 while not mowing my lawn, but because he had the initiative to come up to my house, was polite, even polite in my refusal. and willing to earn the money that he was seeking. That's why he's getting $20. He ain't getting it for free. He earned that. In my opinion, he earned that because it is so not seen. Like I said, I've been living here for over 10 years. Ain't a single kid ever come up to my door and asked to mow my yard. He earned that. Now, other people asking, why didn't you? I'm not having this young kid mow my lawn. Why? He doesn't know my lawn. He doesn't know where the fencing is running by the chicken coop. On the outside, I've got skirt fencing, and it's staked down. But some of it ain't staked down very well, because that's what happens. He doesn't know where anything is. My lawn is also tiered. In other words, on the top, it's a layer, and then it's got like a 4-foot drop. I'm trying to think, 4-foot drop. So it's out the top of the house, front of the house, and then it goes out by the road. And you've seen the pictures where the fence line is on the corner. Well, it's a drop off there, and it's It's about, this isn't showing it well. It doesn't look like I'm going very steep. This is about how steep it is, but it does, it's steeper than it looks in the picture. It's about a 45 degree. No, it's steeper than 45 degrees where it comes down, because the front walkway, there's steps that go up. There's like 4 or 5 steps that go up. They're granite steps. And then there's it's flat, but a slight slope up to the house, but it's flat. So that lip, you know what I'm talking about? It's a lip. It goes like this, and then it drops down. Well, you got to mow it in a certain way, or you're going to have problems. And I've done it, and I've slipped doing it myself, and I'm a grown-ass man. I'm not going to have some kid that's never mowed my lawn. Then also, where the corner fence is, because of the way it's not flush to the ground. To make it even, it's not flush to the ground. So you got to run your mower down, and if you run it right off the freaking edge, there's a drop. If you don't know that, and there's cement blocks there, you're going to fuck up your lawnmower. So again, there's one thing after another. I know my property. I got it down to an art. It only takes me 20 minutes, taking my time. 20, 30 minutes, just taking my time. That's good enough for me. I don't need him to mow my lawn. So no, it's just one question after another and one statement. And then some woman, she follows my content. I've never seen her before, but I guess okay, she follows it. Trying to educate me and convince me to, well, my father always had, yeah, up until fucking Thursday, I think it was. No, Friday. Up until Friday, I had money in my pocket. I had cash. I didn't have any, and I couldn't replenish it. So I usually have some. I usually have anywhere between $20 and $50 in my pocket. Laurel says you have an obstacle course for a yard and you can tear it up. Right. And it's, you wouldn't know it by just looking at it. You know, it's one of those yards you go, yeah, you don't think about it. But then when you try to mow it and trim and stuff like that, you realize, oh, okay, there's a certain way that you have to do this. And this kid, I've seen his work on the other yard. He ain't ready for my yard. He ain't ready for my yard. But yeah, you can take a foot off. You can. I mean, again, I've been mowing all my life. I know my property. I got it down. There's a certain order. There's a certain pattern. There's a certain way that I have to do it, and It's not like it's just a square plot of land and say, okay, there you go, just mow it. So it's not worth me. I'd be spending more time trying to teach him how to mow than it is. It's like, no, why don't I just fucking mow it myself, which I do. So yeah, that's why. But then this other gal's telling me about keeping money. It's like, number one, we live in 2026. If you live in a modern area, you don't need cash. You'll never use it. No, seriously, you'll never use cash. It's easy enough to put it on your card. I run everything off of my Bass Pro card. Why? Because I get points. I don't care if it's a stick of gum or some groceries or some supplies at Home Depot. I run it on my Bass Pro card, get home, give the missus the receipt, and then within the next day or so, she clears the account. She pays it off. So there's no need for cash. What the fuck am I going to use cash for? I mean, stop and think about it. When was the last time you had to use cash? Had to use cash. It's every once in a while you might find a little shack restaurant or something that doesn't, which is stupid. It's like, why? Look, you can get Cube on your damn cell phone. Take plastic. Now, that doesn't mean I'm against cash. I love cash. But why am I going to carry around cash if I don't need to? Now there's places that I've gone, like if we're going to go for a drive, a long drive, and we might be going to like upstate or deep into Vermont or something, we'll bring some cash. Why? Well, just in case. Because there are places that in those backwoods places that don't accept cash. But if you're not off the beaten path, what the hell are you going to use cash for? Yard sailing, I guess. We're in yard sale season. But yeah, so it's like, look, I didn't ask for financial advice or suggestions. And if you caught me on Friday, I'd had cash in my pocket. Laurel says, I seldom have cash with me. I only get cash if I'm trying. Right, that's right. Right. If you're traveling, if you're going to go someplace, you might take some cash just in case. Just in case. But if you're just traveling in the circles that you do normally, you don't need cash. You want to go out to eat? What? You ain't paying in cash. You need to pick up some milk at the store? You ain't paying in cash. I mean, you can. I still see people doing it. Not very often. I usually go, oh, they still got that stuff? Yeah, never let them get rid of cash. They keep trying, never let them get rid of that. See, if I'm a farm stand, I want to stop. Right. Farms, again, if you're off the path or a little farm stand, right. But see, you're going to know anyways. You know. And correct me if I'm wrong. Let's say you're out driving and you see a farm stand. If you don't have cash, you might go, hey, I'm going to stop by that farm stand so the next day or two. So you get some cash, and then you have cash to use at the farm stand. Right? Or like I said, when you're out taking long drives, long a trip, you're traveling someplace. Yeah. Have some cash, just in case. But in your daily life, I'm sitting in my house. What the fuck? It's like, yeah, good luck coming. You want to break into the Cowboy's house? You ain't going to find cash. I don't have a jar. I don't have a jar filled. Look, I've never been wealthy enough to have those people associated with poor people. I had a lot of kids. We didn't have spare. We didn't have spare cash. Didn't have the cookie jar for a rainy day. No, if we set it aside, it wasn't for a rainy day. This was fucking set aside. And this is for buying a new lawnmower or set of spark plugs or something, you know. So yeah, but yeah, I did not ask for people's advice, and they do not know my financial situation, or how I live my life. They do not know the way my front yard looks. They don't know the particulars. They just know themselves. Stick to yourself. Laurel says, I'll be going to New York next week for my 50th class reunion. There are little shops and roadside stands that prefer cash. Yeah, that's the perfect time for cash. That's the perfect time for cash. Again, I'm not against cash, but as a rule, I don't carry cash with me. Not much. Usually $20 to $50. Usually, 20 is about average. Because honestly, if what I need to buy is over $20, I'm going to put it on the card anyways. Why carry around? Look, you're going to buy something that's $80. $80 in cash is a lot of cash. And I'm a dude. I don't carry a purse. I carry my wallet. You ever put $80 in your wallet on top of everything else? I got my pictures. I got my credit cards. I got my license, and I got my other cards in a leather wallet. Yeah. Put $80 in there. That's a brick. But yeah, I just got really annoyed. It's like people just go with it. It's a good story. Not a made up story. It's just a good feel good story. Just post something positive or shut the fuck up. It's pretty damn simple. I don't know what the hell's wrong with people. You just... So yeah, dealing with idiots today. Just, it's like, no. So I know it's very entertaining for y'all when I open up a can on people. But today I did very good. I wrote out a lot of shit, and before I hit submit, I deleted it. Sometimes I did it 3-4 times. Read it to the missus. She agreed. Almost submitted, deleted it, and then just went to their comment and deleted their comment. It's like, fuck you. Just oh my goodness. I'm getting hammered by Facebook. Laurel says I do that daily. Yeah. I just okay. I'm not going to tell. My income on Facebook is going down again. Down again. It's under $200 in a month is what I'm at now. Under. Well. But my follower count is steadily going up. But they're not pushing my shit. I've been watching my shit for the last week. They're not fucking promoting my shit. All of my content should, for the amount of followers I have, should get good interactions. Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm saying. 227 likes on this one. That's nothing. 75. It's insulting. 369 likes is insulting. 78 comments. It's like you look at these. You can't see them, but I'm just scrolling through the numbers, and it's just like that's not even 500. It's not even 40. That's not even 70. That's not even 150. And these are like full articles and good content that I put out there. They're not being seen. They're not put. So it's like, okay, so Facebook isn't pushing my stuff even to the people that are following my content, and they're paying me less and less and less. I don't have to put up with people's shit. It's not benefiting me one bit to listen to some fucking retard tell me what they think about something or give me advice that was unsolicited. They can go, well, I didn't ask for your advice. You're following my content. You don't have to. You can block me. I don't care. I'd rather, look, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I'd rather have no content and no contact, no interaction, and no problems than to have contact, interaction, and problems. Nothing doesn't bother me. Something good, that's good. Something bad annoys the fuck out of me. Nothing doesn't bother me. Oh, nobody said anything. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me. And then more so when somebody says something and they're arguing shit that I disagree with you, and they put on a diatribe, and it's like, I didn't say any of that. I didn't say anything. It doesn't even come close to what I actually said. People read into shit. Don't read into shit. Read what I say. And I was talking about the Anthony case to a feller, and he was talking about it doesn't fit Texas Castle Doctrine law. And you're right. I said, and then I also said that I pointed out that you have to prove self-defense has to be a proven thing. Peggy says the people that I follow are saying the same thing. Facebook is restricting their reach. It's terrible. You have to prove, unbeknownst, people go, and the guy writing, you have to prove that self-defense was warranted. Okay? Now, technically, and a guy came in, I deleted his post because I'm not going to play this semantic fucking game. He goes, no, that's not right. The state still has to prove that you didn't need to be. It's like, yeah, that's true, but that's fucking semantics. When you're in a trial, you can go, and he goes, innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, you fucking believe that shit. You believe that shit. That's a fine legalese, but it does not play out in the legal system. It really doesn't. Because when you're arrested for something, you're already going through the punishment of the process. And I can guarantee you when it comes to self-defense cases, you have to prove. They don't have to. You think, yeah, they have to prove that it wasn't really self-defense. That ain't difficult. Well, it says not that jackass. He was even supposed to be. No, he wasn't. He wasn't even supposed to be there. He was suspended from school. His grades were not enough to allow him to be on the track team itself, so he couldn't compete. He wasn't supposed to be there. He didn't come up on the team bus. He found another way to get there, brought his own shit, brought a knife to the event. This shit was planned out. He was looking for problems. But he is a known jackwagon looking for problems. He's known to be a fighter. This is not some oops first time thing. No, this was the culmination of him getting away with shit since the time he was squirted out of his mama. No accountability. He's a cold stone killer living in a fantasy world. He deserves to ride the lightning. He won't because he was 17 at the time, but he deserves to. Peggy says his parents have already blown through the money raised by. Yeah. It's just more payday. But like I said, you can sit back and go, innocent until proven guilty. Have you been arrested before? Have you been arrested before? Have you arrested somebody before? Until you've been arrested or arrested somebody, don't fucking bring me that textbook guilt, innocent until proven guilty shit. It's not really the way it works. That's semantics at best. You better believe that in most cases you're going to have to prove your innocence. They go, no, they have to prove their guilt. Yeah, ideally that's the case. But the simple truth is for the vast majority of crimes and cases, the vast majority, You sitting in front of a jury is already weighing against you. I mean, again, you can say anything you want, but the reality is it's already there is nobody that's considering you innocent until proven guilty. They're going to go, well, he may be innocent, he may not be innocent. You see the difference there? He may be innocent, he may not be innocent. That's different than going, I'm just going to assume that he's innocent. You wouldn't do that, because if you just assumed that he was innocent, he wouldn't be on fucking trial. You see how that works? You can say it all you want. It's all this, textbook crap. No. Hell, people in the real world don't assume you're innocent even if you're not arrested. They look at the basic information and they've already formed one decision. It's called discernment. People need to start fucking using it. Now, being on a jury, I'll sit there and I'll listen to all the evidence. I'll do it. I'll listen to it all. You might be innocent. You might be innocent. You may be. The vast majority of people going to trial are not. So the odds aren't in your favor. So, yeah. I wasn't going to play his game. Tired of playing his game, playing people's games. No, the state has to prove. It ain't hard to prove self-defense was not a viable defense. More so in his case that he brought the knife, he reached in there, he dared them. He was told 15 times to leave. 15 times. Peggy says defense lawyers only have to show doubt, and that isn't happening in this case. Right. Most cases, see again, it's textbook. Most cases, it ain't that easy to show doubt. Most cases are pretty cut and dry. Not all. Most are pretty cut and dry. And the lawyer's job is really, the defense attorney's, is to keep your head out of a noose. Trying to minimize the damage that you have already done. That's the God's honest truth. Defense attorneys, their real job is not to get their clients off. Oh, it's great if they can for them. And if they're truly innocent, by all means, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Get them off. But in the vast majority of the cases, it's just repercussion mitigation. My client was a dumbass. I'm going to try to get him the least amount of time, and yeah, but whatever. So yeah, when it comes to self-defense, yeah, you got to prove that you had, in most cases. And that's easy enough. Even in castle doctrine cases, unbeknownst, you can't just gun people down. You can't. But the proof, or the more likely than not, is in a lot of cases super easy to do, especially if there's no evidence to the contrary, because they don't know. There's no fucking way. You got a tent full of kids that saw what happened. You got other staff that saw what happened and or directly afterwards. You got his words themselves. This ain't self-defense. So yeah, he would have to prove that it was self-defense. He can't do that, because the evidence is completely the contrary. So again, I wasn't going to play semantics. It's been hot, been dealing with idiots. Don't need to go there. Everybody, when I said you need to prove that self-defense, everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. Innocent until proven guilty. That's why, hey, you know the A word that you don't see very often on my writings? Alleged. I don't use that word in my writing. They want to come and sue me. I don't understand. Good luck. I don't think anybody can win a case against somebody that they said They did this, 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 and this, and this. But I haven't been found guilty. Then fucking take me to court. From what I'm seeing, again, and I always, if there's video evidence, enough corroboration from eyewitnesses, and common sense comes into play, I'll just lay it right out like it is. I'm not on the jury. So when I say this guy came up and he did this and this and this and this, and now he's going on trial and this, I don't ever put alleged. I don't write alleged. Because allege is an accusation. Alleged is an accusation. I don't consider saying something that happened as an accusation. That's like saying, I'm alleging you're ugly. No, you're ugly. I'm alleging you walked into my house. Well, of course I fucking walked into your house. It's not alleged if you know what fucking happened. You saying that something happened. If somebody punches me in the face and I tell the police, this guy punched me in the face, I'm not alleging that he punched me in the face. It's not an allegation. It's a statement of fact. If you don't know what the fuck happened, then you can say alleged all you fucking want. I'm not going to play those fucking games. Alleged. No. Just like the two unknown shooters, young shooters went to Toledo, Ohio festival on Saturday. Took out their guns and went a-blazing at each other. Over 12 people injured. Shot and injured. Over 12. And these little fuckers, they left. And the police are on a manhunt, but they won't give a description. Really? You got hundreds of people there. People saw it. No description. The only description was some juveniles. Was the only description somebody gave. It's like, really? Yeah, okay. Well, we know what the fuck it was. Alleged. And they didn't allegedly shoot 12 people. They shot 12 people. Sorry. So I'm not going to say 2 men showed up at a park and allegedly shot 12 people. No allegedly about it. There's 12 people that were shot. They did the shooting. Done. Now just convict him in a court of law. I'm going to play this alleged game shit. I ain't going to do it. Crazy. Alleged. Now, that said, if somebody comes up and does make an allegation, and I'm a third party and I have no idea, he said, she said, I'll say alleged, because to me it's an allegation. I didn't do it. I don't know. So there's a time and a place. I will use alleged. But in a lot of cases, if it's clear, they did it. They're on fucking camera. That's what the news media will see them on camera. On camera. There's footage. They're right there. And 10 witnesses can come up and say, yeah, I saw him do it right in fucking front of me. And the media is still going to say alleged. You see it on the film. There's no alleged on there. So you got body cam footage. You're on body cam. He allegedly hit the officer. No, he hit the fucking officer. I saw him on tape. It's there. He allegedly eluded police. And no, he didn't fucking allegedly. It's on the dash cam video. Yeah, that's him. Well, how do you know it's him? Well, you can't see him in the car, but okay, now he gets out into the officer. Now it's on the body cam. Yep, there he is. There's no alleged. There's no alleged. And then it's just figure out what the sentence. You're gonna let him go. You're not gonna let him go. You're gonna convict him and put him in jail. Whatever. Fucking stupid. If y'all ain't been to the back room, go to the back room. Gus posted up a trail cam video of a bobcat bringing home dinner. He sent it to me earlier in the day, that day. Or was it Friday? I don't know, Friday, Saturday. I don't know. I have to go back and see when it was posted. And I said, hey, is that yours? He's like, yeah. Yeah. So you need to post that in the back room for folks. It's like, okay. And he posted it up in the back room for y'all. So go check it out. Oh, man, it's after 9. Tired. Yeah, in a sort of a mood tonight. sort of a mood tonight. I'm just tired of people's foolishness. Yeah, telling the lawnmower story, and then it should be to a person, people regaling similar situations or memories of their childhood or whatever. It was a good situation. I don't need you should have done this, and I would have done that. It's like, then go fucking do whatever the hell you're going to do. I was just sharing a good story. I felt good. It did my heart good. And I wanted to share it because I knew it would make other people smile. Laura said it was an amazing video that Gus posted. Yeah, it's a daily life in the neighborhood. Cat dragging that little critter underneath him or her, whatever the hell. I don't know. I didn't check the plumbing. I couldn't get in that close. Judy says you did a good thing. I was touched by it. And thank you. My post wasn't really about what I did. It was about what the boy did. And he moved me. It's like, yeah. Here you go. I'll get you. You deserve it just for trying to do the right thing. Just trying to do the right thing. 7:00 at night on a Saturday night, hot and humid, and he's out there trying to make a few bucks. Good on him. Judy says, yeah, that's exactly what I got from it. Yeah. Laurel says that boy will remember you for the rest of his life. I hope so. And I hope there's other males in his life that do the right thing. It was a moment. I told people you don't have to go looking for things. Just don't pass them up when they present themselves. When situations present themselves in your life, do not pass it by. I could have passed it by. I could have just sat there, and I looked over at the miss and I'm like, I can't do this. He needs to know. What he is doing it's good. It's good. So. Good. Tonight's coffee, hazelnut cream, New England brand coffee. Laurel says, you saw him. That's huge. I saw him? Yeah, I saw what he did. Yeah, he wasn't just another face that. Don't come by and ask him on my lawn again, though, because I won't. And other people, why don't you didn't know? Like I said, I know my lawn. It's not a lawn that I'd want a kid mowing. I'd have to clean up after him anyways, so I'll do it. I'll do it. It's not a problem. Yipper skipper. Laurel said, well, you explained it and he will understand. Yeah. Oh, you will explain it. Yeah. It's fine. So he doesn't have to come by anymore. But yeah. Good on you. Good on you. like I said, 10 plus years, and ain't had a kid come by once. Well, offering to do work. Had more than a few offer or ask for a handout, a donation. No, I'm not going to make a fucking donation. And some of these jack wagons on the post, I felt like going, yeah, you do such and such. Hey, when was the last time you donated to me? Did you get any worth off of the content I'm offering up? No. Yeah, whatever. Fuck it. I just too hot. Too hot, baby. Better run for shelter. Better run for shade. Everything's a song. Oh, goodness. So hope everybody is doing fine. Hope everybody is doing fine. Fine as wine. Had wine the other night. Last night had wine. Made cabbage rolls. Cabbage rolls. They were good. With my blackberry Merlot. And then I had Rebel 100 straight rye after dinner. That was pretty good. Running low on my whiskey. Yeah, well, happens. So did I I posted up a video. I saw it, and I've seen similar ones, but this young fella, he broke it down pretty good. If you haven't seen it, go to my Facebook page. It's and I did a link to YouTube. Black American instantly regrets moving to Africa. Now the young black feller that's in the screenshots, the thumbnail. He's not the guy that made the video. He made a video. There's a couple. There's a few black folks that made videos, and this young feller, he took their videos and he made his own video and he explained things, and he breaks it down pretty good. And I've broken this down before too, but he did a good job on it. One of the biggest things of blacks in like Europe or the United States, but particularly the United States, they think that all blacks are black. They're all brothers. It's like, no, they're fucking not. No, they're not. They think because slaves were brought over from 5 or 6 different countries, if not more, and brought to the United States, and then all the slaves got to integrate, that they're all brothers. No, they're not. You go to Africa, Africans don't consider themselves black as their identity. They don't. African Americans, sadly, the majority of them consider themselves black. Black is it's a color. It's a skin pigmentation. That's all it is. Blacks are no more alike than yellow people are all alike, and redskins are all alike, and white folks are all alike. It's not. But they think, oh, blacks are black. No, you're not. Here's an explanation. Somalis don't consider themselves black. They don't even consider themselves African. Kenyans don't consider themselves black. They don't consider themselves Africans. Haitians don't consider themselves black. Do you know what these groups consider themselves? They consider themselves Somalis, Kenyans, Haitians. You see what it is? And they're not kumbaya fucking ya, we're all brothers. No, they consider themselves distinct Ethiopian, Kenyan, Somalian, Nigerian, South African. It's Congolese, whatever they call from the Congo. That's what they consider themselves. They're not, oh, we all black brothers. No, they're not. And I've said that the same about with the Native Americans. Oh, they were all the same. No, they fucking hated each other. Some of them worked in relative harmony and they had good relations. Most of them did not like each other. They were in a constant state of war and flux and territorial disputes and resource gathering. Yeah. They weren't all the same. They didn't all speak the same language. They didn't all have the same histories or even that, like, oh, Native Americans, they all have the same religious belief. No, they fucking don't. Some of them are very similar, but no, they don't. No, they don't. So just like white people, oh, I'm an American, so I'm going to go to England, and they're my brother, right? Oh, because you're a fellow white person, they're going to go. You're fucking American. You're not British. You're not French. You're not German. You're not Danish. You're not Spanish. You're right. I'm an American. My skin color doesn't make us brothers. A common lineage makes you brothers. And I'm sorry, African Americans have very little in common with somebody from Somalia, Kenya, South Africa, Mozambique, or fucking wherever. Nothing in common. You share no cultural similarities. Do you know who black Americans share a cultural similarity to? Anyone want to guess who black Americans show a cultural similarity to? And it ain't fucking Africans. It's white folks. African Americans, black folks in the United States have more of a cultural tie, in spite of everything that they want to say otherwise, with European whites that brought their culture into this continent than they do of Africans. There's virtually nothing from Africa left in modern. Because again, you stop and think, the slaves, what the fuck? They all came from different tribes and some different tribes in the same nation, some different nations. They didn't speak the same fucking language. Some of them could understand others, and if the language is strong enough in a given area, a lot of them might have it as a second language. They might be able to know. Similar with Indians. But the common language for slaves in the United States was English. Fucking go figure. Just like the common language for slaves in the Caribbean was Spanish. Go fucking figure. Colombia's shit fucking packed with black people, and they speak Spanish. They don't speak African. They don't speak Swahili. Whatever the fuck. Gumagubu. Yeah. So this young fella was pointing this out in the video. It's like, you go there, they see you as white. They see you as white as an Englishman. They see you as an American. An American isn't African. An American isn't Kenyan. It isn't Somali. It isn't Congolese. It isn't, whatever. Pick your freaking language or your country. That ain't it. They see you as a mark. They're going to rob you. They're going to swindle you because African countries they're called high trust societies. Europe in the United States used to be a high trust society. You could have, hey, firewood, $5. Eggs, $5. Here, yeah, take it, drop it, whatever. Stores, you still might find it in some backwoods places. You go there and they got stores, and there's nobody in it. You just go, you pick your stuff, and you put your money in, and you go on. You don't see that shit in Africa because they'll rob you blind. And you go, oh, that's a horrible thing to say. No, it's true. Talk to a fucking African. When you build a house in Africa, they see it as a chance to, number one, get your money to build it, and number two, a chance to steal everything you fucking have. They'll steal supplies. They'll steal lumber, tools, whatever. They're gone. The majority of Africans have no concept of the future. It's always the now. What's going to get me through now? They don't have a concept of maintenance. That's why the roads aren't. That's why everything's falling apart. They don't think about 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, the next generation. They don't care. They think about now. They don't have a concept of the future. And you go, well, that's fucking racist. No, look into it. It's cultural. And there's plenty of black people who've pointed this shit out. And black people from Africa. And they go, it's because they don't have that. They can develop it, but it's not innate to who they are. That's why you go, name one first world African country. Just one. Just one. First world. Bueller? Bueller? Zero. You go, Egypt. Well, that's northern Africa. Yeah, sorta. Sorta. I wouldn't still rate it a first world. Yeah, second world. There's a couple first world Asian countries. Yeah. There was some prosperous first world South American countries. But it was because of the Spanish. It wasn't because of the native people. And again, that's not a slight against the people, the natives that live there. It's just they just didn't do it. Their heyday was back when they were building pyramids out of stone, and they had some culture. They had some culture. But it's been long gone. And that culture, even at its height, even though they did some miraculous things, it wasn't really that technologically advanced. So people can say what you want to about it. It is what it is. It's not whether it's good. It's not whether it's bad, right or wrong. It's just it is. It just is. It is. So you can't take people from a continent that have no concept of the future and that they come from low trust societies. That crime, they don't even think of crime as crime. It's just what they fucking do. And import them into the West in large numbers. And that's the key, in large numbers. And not to expect to have problems because they don't think like, look at all the Somalis and the problems that we've had with Somalis. And their only response is, oh, you're racist. You get the fuck out of my country. Get the fuck out of my country. Racist. Pointing out who and what the fuck you are doesn't make me racist. It makes me observant. And it doesn't make me a mark. Everybody in Africa is a mark. It's survival of the fittest. You want to live like that? Go to fucking Africa. Like this fella says, you don't want to live like that. That's why most Americans that go over to Africa, they've been sold a bill of goods and they realize, oh shit. And I'd mention another feller's comment. We see the same thing with people leaving the United States. I'm going to go to South America or Central America where it's super inexpensive to live. Oh, and it's like a tropical paradise, and it's like a vacation all year round. And they go there, and within 6 months, they've run out of their money, even though shit's dirt cheap. Well, it's because anything that they want is going to cost a lot. And there's a reason why these countries are so cheap and they're primitive. Yeah, you might get away a couple weeks, maybe a month vacationing in paradise. But if you don't have all the shit that you left behind, you're not going to be too happy with that. Most people can't live primitive. And crime tends to be there. Same way is in the islands. Crime is high in the islands. Stay on the beaten path. Stay in the tourist areas and in secure areas. Because you wander outside them, you're going to get robbed. You're going to get hurt. Why? Because they're fucking savages. That's the way of the world. Americans are so sheltered that they think that since they live so free and they can walk down their street and they've got all this modern shit and the angst in their soul that they fucking know how the world works. They're just like us. No, they're not. I've said this time and time. No, they're not. Afghanis are not like you. Chinese people are not like you. Even people that you might think are like good, decent people, they're not like you. They don't think like you. Americans, people in the West in general, think that the whole world thinks like them. They don't. They don't. They don't. Think so at your own peril. And when you import them into your country, they don't think like you. Oh, they're going to be just hardworking Americans, just like everybody else. No, they're not. No, they're not. It's the same way you can't take a kid. Well, you probably could a kid, but you got to work into him. An inner city kid and move them out to a farm, and they're just instantly going to be, no, they've got to acclimate. Now, you can't take a gang from the inner city and move them onto your farm and expect them to not be the gang. Of course they're going to be the gang. Changing their location didn't change them. It's the same way with immigrants coming in. Yeah, you can change a couple. You bring in mass numbers, and I'm sorry. You just, no. They're coming here. They're refusing to learn the language. They're refusing to actually integrate. They're expecting everybody to bend over backwards for them. Fuck you. You're a Muslim and you come to our country and you expect accommodations. You can kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. I wouldn't go to a Muslim country and expect fucking accommodations. How stupid would that be? Wouldn't get them anyways. Wouldn't get them anyways. But Europeans and the United States, the West, is so self-reflective and introspective that they can't see past themselves and going, the world isn't you. And the world knows this shit, and they take advantage of it. That's like the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia got in front of the world at one of the forums back years ago, and I posted up about it. I do it every once in a while. And he said, Europe thinks that they know better. They think they understand Muslims, and they have no idea. So he said, in the upcoming years, you will see radical Islam show its face in the West, and in a horrible way. I'm paraphrasing it. Because the West doesn't understand that which they think they understand. Muslims are not fucking pets. Look, they want to run their countries the way they run their countries. Good. Have at it. I don't care. I really don't care. Oh, the Afghan people, the Afghan women are being abused by the men and the children. I don't care. I really don't care. If a country wants to live in a Stone Age, let them live in the Stone Age. That's not my concern. My concern is what's happening here. My concern is to make sure that they're not a threat to me and mine. It's not to go and change everyone into, look, no. A people have to change of their own free will. You can't go in there and go, yeah, I think you're living backwards. Yeah, I know you've been doing this since time immemorial, but I think you're living backwards. I'm going to show you a better way. And then try to make them do it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. They've got to do it. They've got to look at you and go, look at all the good shit you got. How'd you get that? Well, it's because of the way I live. It's my philosophies. This is it. This is how you get advanced. Gee, I'd kind of like to do that. Oh, do you? Would you like some help? Yeah, I'd like some help. Then you give them help, but you don't do it all for them. You let them do it. That's how people change. You just can't go in and swap things around and tell them, hey, we got a new way of doing things. A lot of times it causes more problems than was there beforehand. Oh, I don't like that they got a king or a dictator, and I don't give a fuck. If they don't like it, do something about it. Well, they can't because of, okay. I'm an American. I'm from a country that said, yeah, I think we're going to change. I think we're going to, and we dang well did it. Against the most powerful country on earth. The most powerful. The British Empire, holy shit. We flipped off the king and said, suck it. Yeah. And then we had to dang well fight for it. But we did. And unbeknownst to a minority of people did that. There was more people that didn't want to leave England than there was that wanted to leave it. So, and that's what I get. Let's get back to American. It always pisses me off. Remember back, can y'all still hear me? Because ain't nobody posted up anything. Somebody just type up something. It was going around this last year about how we're all Americans, Canadians, people from the United States, Mexico, so on and so forth. Oh, we're all Americans. No, you're fucking not. No, you're not. You're not Americans. It's not even the same as going, oh, you're all Africans. Oh, you're an African. Okay, when somebody goes, oh, you're an African, you kind of get what it is. Anywhere in the world, if people are going to be honest about it and you go, I'm an American, you never hear a Canadian go, I'm an American. You never hear a Mexican go, I'm an American. You never hear somebody from Brazil go, I'm an American. You never hear anybody from Honduras goes, I'm an American. Why? Because unlike other continents and nations within them, the United States of America has pretty much claimed the title of American because there's no other way for it. Canadians are Canadian, Americans are American. Mexicans are Mexican. You see how that works? It doesn't work from the Congo or from Kenya because there is no country that's of Africa. The United Confederacy of Africa. You know what I mean? So then they're Africans. There is no other place. There is no place on earth like the United States. It's the United States of America, and we're Americans. There's no other people on this planet that if you were to go anywhere in the world and go, I'm an American, that they wouldn't instantly go, oh. It's not like saying I'm a European. It's not like saying I'm an African. It's not like saying I'm an Asian. If you say it's unique, if you say an American, everybody in the world knows you're talking about the United States of America. So the left and these jackwagons want to play freaking semantics. They're wrong. And I see it all the time. You go on YouTube and you watch video after video. And there are people around the world, and everybody talks America. Whenever they say America, they're not talking about North, Central, and South America, the continents of America. They're talking about the United States. Again, we are unique in the world for a lot of reasons. But a lot of Americans don't even grasp how unique they are. They don't. They don't grasp how unique it is. Again, hazelnut cream. Judy says, yes, and I thank God for it. Yes. Yes. All the people bitch, pissing, and moaning about how bad the United States is because we are America and our history that allows them the freedom and the luxury to live as they do. I get tired of people belly aching. Look, I've said it before. Since I've lived here in this house, okay, I've lost all hot water. Went for a year, no hot water. No hot water, except for what I could heat myself. No running hot water. I didn't bitch about it. I didn't get online. I didn't fucking tell anybody about it until after I got the hot water running again. It wasn't that I was ashamed of it. It's none of your fucking business. And you know what? We were happy to have a house. I had to have a water heater installed, so I had to pay for that. I had 2 camp water heaters for a little bit, so I went months without it, heating everything on the stove. Our electricity bill went through the fucking roof. But we got clean and we had hot water. And we were thankful for it. And then I set up 2 camp water heaters, 4 gallons each. Plumbed one into the tub to run off the shower, and plumbed one into the kitchen sink. Now we had hot water in 2 places in the house. Wasn't ideal, didn't have a lot of it. But we didn't have to heat it up on the stove. We were happy. We thanked the Lord for the things we had. Then we put in because in that time, while that was going, we didn't have heat in the house because our water, the reason why we didn't have hot water is because we had an off-water boiler heater for the house. So we had no heat in the house. We had no heat in the house from February on. Yeah, dead of fucking winter. Laurel says, we have 1 flag, stars and stripes. Damn right. Peggy says, I agree with you. Foreign flags are an abomination and are beloved. There's a time and a place for it. If it's placed underneath ours, I got no problem with it. When you owe allegiance to another fucking country, no. It better be in your consulate. Better be in your consulate. And don't talk shit. Don't enter my country illegally and stay here unwanted and still fly the flag of your fucking home country. Get the fuck out. While you're talking shit about my country. Oh, that chaps my ass. But okay. So yeah. So I didn't even have heat in the house. Dead of winter. No hot water. No heat. So we were running space heaters. So I had to put in a new heating system. So I went with a monitor system. But that took a while. So that was in, but then I had to wait for hot water. Didn't have money for that. Then got enough. I got a electric hot water heater, which then means that you have to upgrade some of the circuit panel. So there was extra bills. So yeah, don't fucking tell me about people having it rough and they can't survive and they need a living wage. No, shut the fuck up. You're talking to a man that grew up dirt poor, didn't have shit, and I've been through trials and tribulations in life. And recently, in this house, didn't complain to anybody, didn't ask for a handout, nothing. We tightened our belt. We made do on bare minimum until we could then get things fixed. So again, I don't sit here on a high horse and look down on people while I've been eating caviar with a silver spoon. No, been there, done that. So shut the fuck up. Buck up. Buck up. So we're dang happy for what we have. Lack of gratitude is something that just sticks in my craw. Lack of gratitude. People expecting shit. Oh, you expect shit? Oh, you don't have enough to live on? You got a cell phone, right? You got this. You look at everything, it's like, no, you're the generation of expectations. You expect everything. Entitlement. The entitlement generation. You're entitled to everything. That we didn't even have that. I guarantee that the people that are Laurel says instant gratification. That's right. The people that are contributing to the show tonight. I know every damn one of you. None of you grew up with all the shit that we take for granted right now. We didn't have it. We didn't have it. Most people didn't have it. But nowadays, if I do without it, my life is ruined. Read a fucking book. Read a book. Take a walk. Sit at the park. Watch the ducks. Oh, you don't have your video games? You don't have your cell phone? You don't have this and that? Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Go for a walk. Ain't that difficult. So don't sit and tell me we were happier, says Laurel. Yeah. We made do with what we had. Didn't mean we didn't have goals. Layaway. If you knew you couldn't sock the money aside, you put something on layaway. And then you knew you had to pay for it. Okay. And then in 3-4 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, it was paid for. You didn't have it till it was paid for. Then you were happy because you had to wait 6, 9, 12 months, sometimes more. Nowadays, it's, I got something today. You get an endorphin rush. What am I going to get tomorrow? You go a week or you go a month and you don't have something new. You go, oh, my life fucking sucks. Oh, I don't have anything. No. You didn't have delayed gratification. Laurel says mom started shopping for the next Christmas right after. Right. You thought ahead. Set things aside. That's why, look, I'd talked about this too before. I'm not big on birthday gifts and Christmas gifts because we had too many kids. And just, we tried, if you need something, you get it. If we could afford it, we'd get it. If we didn't, we set aside until and then we got it. But everything is turned on its head. Instant gratification. No planning, no delayed gratification. Get it now. Get it now. And then get it tomorrow. Get it next week. Here's another thing people don't. Let's talk about movies. You used to have to go to a movie theater. Then you could rent videos. But even when you could rent videos, you usually get it like once a month or maybe once a week. You go, okay, it's going to be movie night's going to be Wednesday or Saturday. And you pick 1 or 2 movies. And you had to think ahead. What are the movies I want to see? Oh, I want to see these 2 movies. Okay. So then you go down to the video store and you go, are they in? Yes. If not, you go, fuck, I need to find something else. So you get the movie. And you bring it home. And you sit it in the living room. You sit in the living room. And everybody knows, and the kids know. Look. What we do is we'd usually get like a kids movie and a movie that adults and the teenagers could enjoy. So you get a kids movie and a adult movie, but not in adult movies. So they knew when it was sitting right there, and they knew, okay, it's going to be Friday night, or it's going to be Saturday night, and we're going to have movie night. And you fucking wait. And you had your TV shows that come on all through the week. But your movie night, you had to wait. And it was something special. And everybody got on the floor. They climb up on the couch. You put in the movie. And that's what you did. See, and nowadays it's like you got Netflix and all these other subscriptions. It's like you got movies on tap, and then you run out of the movies because that's all you're doing is you're just fucking watching them. It doesn't mean what it used to mean. It just, things don't mean what, I admit it doesn't mean what it used to mean. I used to do a lot more reading. Yeah, bona fide reading. Things don't mean, because it's the world is different. So Peggy says it comes down to learning how to budget, which is something that has been lost today. Yeah, people know how to budget. Is there a lag going on in there? I think some of you folks have got a pretty big lag. Laura says he went to the library every Wednesday night. Yeah. Oh, and the same way with books, too. That's where we got our books. You go to the library. Go to the public library. Pick out a book. And that was your book. And you read it. Things are different. So when these little shitbirds, they complain about how, oh, gee, you were in the 80s doing this. Yeah, and we were doing a lot different things. It was a different world. Kids nowadays and young folks, if you were born after the year 2000, you have no idea what it was like in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. You have no idea. You've seen some shit, you've heard some shit, but you have no idea what it really was like. Really. Living in those times. You don't know. You hear propaganda and you see fucking TV shows and movies. And I'm telling you, it ain't so. It ain't so. You saw a little sliver that's giving a little portion, but yeah, it ain't so. Kids weren't let out of their house to go run with their friends. They were made to get the fuck out of their house and go run with their friends. But you can't do that shit now. Because number one, there's no discipline at home. When there's no discipline at home, there's no accountability and fear of when you're out in public and when you're not in the home. And then you get like wilding. It's what the black kids are doing. Those teen takeovers. It's because there's no discipline at home. See, it's broken windows. Broken windows, you take care of the small shit and the big shit doesn't happen as often, if at all. If you don't take care of your home, your kids are going to be fucking savages out in the world. Take care of your kids at home. Discipline them. That doesn't mean beat the fuck out of them. It means instill discipline in them. Do what fucking works. Not every kid's the same. But I tell you what, you better do it before they're 4. That's about the cutoff age. It's hard after 4. You can do it. Excuse me, but it's really hard. 4 to 6, yeah. If you've trained them from the time they were born, and trust me, they don't start remembering, their long-term memory doesn't kick in till about 4. That doesn't mean that you're not imprinting and instilling in them. You're training them. They're not going to. There's no long-term memory, but you're training them. So you train them that word, that back talk, that cute shit when they're 2 and 3. You fucked up. You need to instill in them discipline and listening to you when they're young, and it makes life a whole lot easier. It doesn't take care of all the problems. But it takes care of most of them. Because you're going to have your hands full. The older they get, the less you're going to be around them. They're going to have 8 hours a day at school, which is nothing but a glorified babysitter and indoctrination center with no discipline there too anymore. They just care about fucking keeping kids housed and to be able to give them a diploma after 12 years and go, see, there you go. Look at that. Look at what we did. You didn't do shit. They're graduating and not being able to read. Shut the fuck up. You didn't do shit. You're just a glorified daycare center for 12 fucking years, and that's a shame. But you instill discipline at home, then the kids go, I may think that I'm going to get away with it right here, but that shit gets back to my parents. I'm fucked. Laurel says, my mom was strict. She kept me from doing crap as a teenager that she never knew about. She kept me from doing crap as a teenager that she never knew about. I would say I asked mom, and she said no. Yeah. Yeah, and kids will always do stuff. It's funny. We sit down with the adult kids now, and they're like, yeah, we did that. I said, yeah, I know you did. You did? Yeah. We picked our battles. No kid's perfect. Even if you try to raise them right, the kids are going to do stupid shit. Your job as a parent is to make sure that you minimize the danger that they're going to do to themselves and others while they're growing up, while they're becoming the adults that you hope that they're going to be. It's that simple. You let some things go, but you don't let everything go. And if you do, the most unhappy kids are kids that have no discipline in their life. They're rudderless. There's nothing that keeps them in the lane. They can do whatever the fuck they want, and they don't know what the fuck they want. You give them guidelines and go, this is where you got to be. You can do whatever you want in here. This is fine, but this is it. You can't go over here. Can't go over here. You stay right in here. You're going to be fine. Happy kids. Happy kids. That's the same way with anybody. Liberty is a great thing. Ultimate liberty without consequences is anarchy. It is horrible. And that not in a good way. Anarchists like, oh, that's just because we just enforce our own things. We don't need government. Yeah, bullshit. Bullshit. You get Lord of the Flies. Anarchy only works the way you fucking think it does for about 5 seconds. And then it's law of the jungle. Laurel says, as an adult, you realize how bad your lies were when you're told to your parents. Yeah, parents aren't stupid. Some parents are stupid. Most parents aren't stupid. Yeah. They fucking knew. We knew. It's like, yeah, please. Yeah, you got away with some shit that we didn't know. But you didn't kill yourself. So there's guardrails in place. Yeah. But yeah, that's the problem with a lot of these, the urban culture and stuff like that. It's just no guardrails. Parents not doing their job. The whole fucking, I'll say it. I didn't post it. I'm going to say it because I don't care. Enough other people say this word. It's not a problem. And I've said before on the show. Nigger rich. That's what my mother used to say. My mother was a welfare queen. And her favorite car was a Tornado. Big car, big doors. Big car was her Tornado. She loved that car. And she said, yeah, it's nigger rich. See, nigger rich back in the day meant you were putting on airs that you didn't have. It's all show and no go. That's like these prom dates. They put on these god-awful tuxedo things. It's like, holy Christ. Goofy motherfuckers. And then they flash these big old fucking wads of cash. Nigger rich. It's like, that's not your fucking money. You didn't earn that shit. It was given to you by somebody else, or you scrounged it all together. Wouldn't be surprised me if a bunch of the kids all shared that shit and passed it around. Yeah, you do it now. It's like, it's nothing. Look, flashing a big wad of cash like that when you're living at home, not paying any of your own bills, not paying for your own food, we can keep on going. You ain't rich. You ain't impressing anybody except for other idiots. Nigger rich. That's like, you ain't got a pot to piss in, you're on welfare, and you've got to have $250 sneakers and a gold chain. Nigger rich. Now, I don't know if they still use that term. Y'all heard that term before? Said my mother used to use it a lot. She used to use it a lot. Because she knew her station in life. My mother has either been on welfare or with an alcoholic or whatever for her whole life. Since she left my father. When I was like 2. But yeah. Laurel says, it was used when I was younger. Don't hear it as much anymore. Yeah, it's probably it's from a different generation. Yeah, I got it. Here. Yeah. But the term is apt. It's spot on. Yeah. So again, when I talk about poor people, when I talk about the welfare system, when I talk about, I've been there. I got firsthand knowledge. I'm not a silver spoon baby. That said, I owned my own house just after my mid-20s. Owned it. Well, it's because I fucking worked my ass off. And I've gone through tough times. Been there, done that. So I don't talk out my ass. I'm not some on my high horse and I don't understand. No, I understand. I understand the welfare system. I understand the legal system. I understand the social systems. I understand poverty, real poverty. I understand gratitude and hard work. And being kind to your fellow man, which, I'm sorry, being kind to them isn't always necessarily being nice. So I say never give somebody that's panhandling, do not give them a dime. You're doing nothing but subsidizing their bad choices in life. Ain't nobody out there panhandling, holding a fucking cardboard sign that ever went from that and your handout to suddenly having a job and being a productive member of society. Oh, they've just fallen on hard times. No, if they've fallen on hard times, they'll go use the system that's out there. They'll go to a church. They'll go to a fire department. They'll go to a hospital. They'll go to the systems that are set up in their towns because they have them and say, I need help. And they'll get that help, and it'll be temporary help, and they'll get their shit together, and then they'll be a productive member of society. Ain't a single one of those fuckers. That's why you still, yeah, they're still out there 4 years later. Yeah, you think? And they're only out there 4 years later because there's a bunch of retards out there giving them money. Dropping off a fucking hamburger. Don't feed them. Don't give them your money. You're not helping them. You're not helping them. You're helping yourself. You're helping yourself to feel fucking good. Find that kid. Find that kid willing to work to mow your lawn. Even if you don't need your lawn mowed, give him something. It is 10 o'clock. Came around full circle. Came around full circle. It's been an interesting show. Like I said, in a mood. Not a lot of folks talking. Not a lot of folks talking. Tomorrow's Monday. We got a hot week coming up. 80s and 90s. Hot week. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Be up bright and early, putting out content in the morning. Say hey on Facebook. Like, share, subscribe. Is there anything else anybody wanted to say before we shut it down? Peggy says, I'm so tired. Good night. Oh, and thank you, John. You're most welcome, Peggy. Thank you for joining the show. Laurel. Judy. Anybody else out there? I don't know who's out there. Was there anything else before I shut down? Because I think there's a lag there. She says, Laura said, sleep well. I'm going to wind down and go to bed. Says Judy says, good night, y'all. Thank you. It's been very entertaining. It's been something. It's been something. Thank you all for joining the show. Those who were watching, didn't post up, thanks for watching. Post up next time. At least say hey. I'll see you again bright and early on Facebook in the morning. Y'all get some sleep. Next show Wednesday, God willing. And with that, God bless and take care.